At first, a new star is quite stable, rather stable, and has a continuous energy production because of the nuclear reactions which is going on inside the star. Stable means something that is stable means not likely to change suddenly or come to an end suddenly. Constant means continuous. Output is uh, the amount which is produced. Okay. Ongoing means something that has been going on for a while, and it is likely to keep going on for a while in the future. Interior is inside. So the star is at first quite stable and it produces energy constantly because there are nuclear reactions inside. Astronomers call this period of a star's life as a yellow dwarf stage. You will call it yellow because the color will be yellow. Dwarf, what is that? Dwarf is an imaginary creature which is like a small man, and it's in fairy tales, and it has magical powers. Why would they call it a dwarf? Because it's small. This is relatively, right? Because a star will be very large. Most of the stars in the known universe are somewhere in the middle of this stage. Okay? But over a period of billions of years, the star finally uses up its supply of hydrogen and the nuclear reaction reduces until they stop. This causes the star to experience a cooling stage, and the center contracts. Core is the center, okay? At the same time, the star's surface area begins to get bigger. At some point, the helium, which is left in the star, starts burning, so the star heats up again. Extant, what does that mean? Extant means something that exists, although it's very old. But at this time, it expands to a great extent, becoming a red giant. Okay? Finally, it may change itself to a very large blue star that is 400 times its original size. Okay? So what is this part about? This part is about the beginning stage of a star from that point. Okay? At first, a new star is stable and it has constant energy coming out because it has nuclear reactions going on inside. Astronomers call this stage the yellow dwarf stage. Most of the stars in the universe are in this stage, but during a period of billions of years, the star finally uses up all its hydrogen, and the nuclear reactions will reduce and come to a stop, will stop. And from this time, the star will get cooled, okay? And the core contracts, the center. But at the same time, the surface of the star will expand, and at some point, the helium which is left in the stars will start burning and the star will heat up again. Why will it have helium? Because the there are nuclear reactions which turns hydrogen into helium, so it will have helium. Okay? The helium which is left in the stars will start burning and the star will heat up again. But this time it will expand greatly, which is called the red giant. And in the end, this will transform into a very big blue star, which is 400 times the original size. You understand? This is when the death stage of a star begins. Initiate means to begin something. After the supply of helium is used, the star once again will fall down, but this time the end is really near. Once means after, right? Deplete means to reduce. Okay. The star shrinks dramatically. What does that mean? Dramatical. It means suddenly and recognizably and surprisingly. All right. What's a drama? Drama is a serious. It's a serious play in a TV or in the theater, right? What happens in dramas? The events happen suddenly, right? So dramatical has that meaning. And it becomes smaller than it was as a yellow dwarf, and it becomes a tiny white dwarf. After more time passes, the star loses the ability to produce heat and light, and it transforms into a black dwarf. After more time passes, elapse has the meaning of passing, alright? In this stage, only the heavy, dense center of the material in the star remains. Still, the death can take millions or even billions of years to happen. Transpire means happen. Each of the stage in a star's life also includes many substages. Substages means lower stages. Sub has the meaning of under, okay? A part of something which is larger, alright? And there are several classes of yellow, red, blue, and white stars. So what is this part about? This part is about the death stage of the star, alright? Because after the helium is all used, the star begins to fall down. The star will shrink, means get smaller, alright? Will shrink suddenly and surprisingly, and it will become a tiny white dwarf, which is smaller than it was as a yellow dwarf. After more time passes, the star will not be able to produce heat and light, and it will become a black dwarf. In this black dwarf stage, only the heavy, dense core will remain. But it will take millions or even billions of years to completely die. All right. So this is the death stage of a star. It should be known that stars don't always begin their lives having the exact same sizes, all right? Because some are very large, extremely large when they are formed, and they are thought of as giant stars. Identical means exactly the same. What is identity? Identity means who you are. If who you are is the same, it means exactly, they are exactly the same. Gargantuan means extremely large. So these stars quickly use up their hydrogen and helium supply, and so they have shorter lives than yellow dwarfs like the Sun. Therefore means for that, okay? Means the meaning of so. So they have shorter lifespans. Lifespan is the length of life, all right? The time when something lives, okay? Or the period of time which something is normally expected to live, okay? Span has the meaning of width from one point to the other, sideways span, lifespan. So it means from the beginning to the end of the life, of a life. Some of these stars may not actually collapse, but instead explode in what is called a supernova. Okay, some of them will not fall down, but they will explode. When this happens, there are two possible results. One is the creation of a neutron star, which is what is left of the giant star. One is the making of a neutron star. What's a neutron? Neutron is an atomic particle which has no electrical charge. Do you understand? And compared to that, there are protons. Proton is an atomic particle which is positively, which has positive electrical charge. Do you understand? And there are what else? Electrons. Electrons are the atomic particles which have negative electrical charge. Do you understand? Okay, hold on. Let me draw you a picture so that you will know what these are. If you look here, this is the atom, okay? This is the structure. In the middle, there are protons, okay, which is positively charged, and the neutrons, which have no charge at all. And around it, there are electrons, which have negative charge. Do you understand? This is what an atom looks like. So after the explosion, there will be one possible result of that is the neutron star, which is a remnant. What is a remnant? Remnant is something that is left over after most of it is gone. All right. Neutron stars let out pulsars, which are pulses of electromagnetic radiation that can be noticed on Earth. They emit. Emit means let out. Pulsars, which are pulses. What is a pulse? Pulse is the regular beating of your blood circulating your body, alright? And it also has the meaning of the temporary increase in electric currents or light or sound. Doop, doop, doop. This is pulse, okay? Pulses of electromagnetic radiation. What is electromagnetic? Electromagnetic relates to electric and magnetic forces or effects, okay, which is created by an electric current. Do you understand? Radiation is energy coming out of a source, like as if it's coming out from the center to all directions. Radiation. So radiation will be like energy coming out from a source to all directions. This is radiation, you understand?